Amateur Hour.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Medicare Space Live Show. Welcome back. We've been away for a little bit, and let me go back here. Give me a second. Hello, everybody. We're just waiting for people to join on. We haven't been here for a while, and we are definitely missing you guys so much. I hope you guys are doing really well. Today is Friday afternoon. No, today's Friday morning. Can you tell it's been a while since I've been doing the live show? We've been out for 2 weeks, right? Has it been 2 weeks already?
Yes.
It's been 2 weeks. My name is Victoria Cabrera. Thank you so much for joining in. Who do we have next to us? Because it looks a little different today.
Oh, yeah. Hi, my name's Desiree Castro.
Wait, you don't sound loud enough. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Louder. Okay. My name's Desiree Castro.
And
this is...
Oh, thanks.
I'm introducing. We're doing a lead on.
She's an amateur.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
only been on here.
No, this is a
hey,
lead
Rod.
on.
Hello.
Well, yeah, you sound like a real amateur right now.
Talking about me over here.
Well, you didn't even introduce yourself.
I did. I said A-Rod. I didn't do it so close to the thing.
Oh,
I was doing hand gestures, so I was too far away from the mic.
we have. So today looks a little different because our co-host Sylvia Toscano got a little sick, and she's gonna get that taken care of. But
Yeah,
she
she's
should be
pull
okay.
through.
She's gonna be okay. But we also have another one of our friends here works here with us. Who do we have here next to A-Rod?
Zachary
Oh.
Espericueta.
Oh, I don't even think I have you. Actually, I don't even have your plug. Here, plug him in. We're real
Dang,
amateur,
we're
right?
amateur
we're
hour
amateur
over
right
here.
now.
Are we good?
There you go.
Testing.
There you go. There you go. And who do we have here over here next to A-Rod?
Zach Espericueta. So I guess just to fill in for today.
Zach's filling in for us today for
B team, real B team.
kind of.
BT. Second string. I asked if I could be on the show this morning, and she said, "Yeah, backstage."
Well, I thought you wanted to take like pictures of us or something like that. So I was like, yeah,
It's not
sure,
what
you
I
can.
meant.
You
She's
can.
not very good at taking pictures, so I was like, yeah, just have her on the podcast.
Yeah. So what's that? Oh my God, Eugene, I have to get back to you. It's been such a crazy, hectic week. I barely got back in the office. When was it? Yesterday, right? Or
Yesterday.
I barely got back in the office. We were at Medicare Con 2022, which is an amazing event. We're actually going to take our agents, some of our agents next year. And then I was at the Tehu event in Fort Worth, Texas, which I had to fly in Saturday. Wait, when was it? No, I flew in Sunday. And then I had to leave. I was going to leave again Monday. But I was like, no. So I woke up at 3 a.m. on Tuesday to make it there by 9 a.m. on Tuesday. So I'm pretty tired. So I'm going to need like a week's worth of sleep. But thank you guys so much for joining in today. It's been a while since we had the live show. We were out of town. And without the two hosts, Adriana can't run it on her own.
I can technically, but y'all don't want to just hear me talk about random stuff.
Boring.
I mean,
No,
I
just
could
kidding.
actually. I would be very fun, but I don't know how to work all this stuff.
Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. I was on the phone. Instead of saying stretch your money, I accidentally said stretch your mother. Oh my goodness.
funny.
That's so funny. Well, we wanted to come to you guys today. I know that we've been out for a while, and I don't like being out because we just, I like because I know a lot of our people were like, where are you guys at? You're not on the live show. And I don't like doing that, but I promise next time we're not going to do that. We're going to be a little bit more prepared to have
Zoom. We'll Zoom from wherever location you're
okay,
at.
so I
Oh,
was gonna
yes.
try to Zoom from not Memphis. Oh my God,
Alabama.
Birmingham. That's where we were. Birmingham, Alabama.
Alabama.
It probably is.
Birmingham.
Sweet
Oh, yeah,
home
can you-
Alabama.
No,
Yeah.
can you paint me a Birmingham?
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
song.
Can you pay me a Birmingham?
Is that what it is?
No.
No.
I don't
Is
know.
it?
Yeah, it's a song.
Okay.
It's on my playlist.
Well, welcome in, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm pointing this way because this is where my screen is, but you guys are right
I
there. So Zach, what's up? We've invited Zach. He's going to leave here in a little bit, but I was like, well, Sylvia's not here today, so we're going to invite Zach and Desiree to fill in for her. And what better?
That's how big of a personality she is that we need 2 people to fill in for her.
When Sylvia's gone, you need 2 people to replace her multiple personalities.
Well, I felt bad because she had the
True.
fit going and everything. I mean, she walked in.
Oh
and-
yeah,
Yeah, but we told her she needed to go home.
we told her she needed to. We're like, you need to go home. You can't be getting us sick.
Here's cough drop. Go home.
Yeah.
Go home.
Go home. Yeah. And she hopefully she gets better. And fun story today. My sister is actually, she's probably not tuning in today because she's,
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she is.
she's going to be delivering her her twins,
Twins.
boy
Oh, wow.
and a girl.
That's so
Aw,
cute.
congratulations.
So send your prayers that way.
Yes.
We are praying for her, and I'll be thinking about you guys over there in Corpus. I'm sure my mom's not listening. My sisters, and nobody's going to be listening today because everybody's at the
Yeah.
hospital.
Oh my God,
But-
that's the most exciting.
Having twins.
Yeah, and they're all sitting in the hospital right now in the waiting room, like all tired, probably eating food from the food court, and then they're gonna come out and be like, "They were born."
It's only exciting for the people waiting. Trust me, it's not exciting for the person who's going through all of that.
Oh yeah,
I
no.
can speak from
It-
experience.
It's I will. Thank goodness I will never have to go through that.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Yo, Kenny G, what's up? Yeah, so she's out there having her babies right now. Hopefully.
She's just birthing them babies.
She's burping them, birthing them,
Hopefully
them,
not
bathing.
burping.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah.
Burping them, bathing.
Brooke, so mean. She has. So I had her naturally, and then I had to have a C-section with Alyssa and Madison. So
Uh-huh.
she calls them tumor babies.
Oh, wait, shoot.
Tumor babies because they cut me open to take them out.
What? I don't get it.
It's
Like
a
when
tumor-
they
tumor,
take
I
out
guess.
tumors.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
she's
thought
the
you said
surgery.
2 more babies. I was
No.
like, what? So what's up with you, Zach? Zach has a whole new look to his podcast. Zach is actually has a very popular podcast here in San Antonio called, well, it was called SA Pod Network, right?
Yeah. So the overall name is the San Antonio Podcast Network,
Uh-huh.
and kind of the idea is to have multiple shows eventually on the network.
Mhm.
We've had a few already, but are all San Antonio centric,
Uh-huh.
or at least even if it's not talking about San Antonio, has some kind of huge San Antonio element, whether it's the co-host,
Uh-huh.
whether it's the topic, whether it's where you're recording from,
Uh-huh.
something to do with San Antonio. The talk show that I host on there is SA Talk.
Cool.
This is the original logo. So
Cool.
when we had it out, like when we first had the show back in 2020, these are the logos we made. We had t-shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Now the logo looks a little different, as I think you
Yeah,
saw.
yeah. We love
And,
the
and honestly, I mean, credit, because we've been talking about like marketing and
uh-huh.
things like that, branding yourself, and that
Yeah.
kind of what led to me really like putting more effort.
Yeah.
I am not a creative person when it comes to
Oh, stop it. Yes, you are.
when it comes to that. So like
Mhm.
putting that together took a little bit of work, but
Yeah, yeah.
but it was fun. So yeah, a lot of great interviews. In fact, today, it's not the reason I'll be leaving at 10:30, but later today I'll be interviewing the CEO of the San Antonio Zoo,
Ooh.
So cool.
Jim Morrow. So he's UTSA alumni.
Nice.
And he'll be coming on the show to talk about his time there at the zoo, what they've done. I don't know if you saw in the news, but they were rated number 2 in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, recently when
Wow.
it comes to like conservancy and animal welfare, which is
Wow.
really
Oh
important.
wow, that's
So
good.
I'm really excited to interview.
He's total yellow, right? You think?
I didn't learn of the colors.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, that's so awesome. So that's a fun fact. If you guys didn't know that are watching, San Antonio is the San Antonio Zoo is number 2
Number 2.
for pretty much overall holistic
Yeah,
with the
That's
animals, huh? That's really cool.
yeah,
'cause
it's
I don't like
it's
animals
awesome.
being caged.
And it doesn't
It's-
smell as like poop as much as it used to.
No, they do a great job there.
Yeah,
they
they
really
do.
have, and they've been innovative. And I don't know if it's just
Mhm.
Tim. I'm going to learn today.
Yeah.
But they've been real innovative, because did you see like they had the drive-through zoo during?
Oh,
the
yeah.
pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And they're
Like, they were like the
opening-
first zoo to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
opening up a whole new exhibit
Yep,
soon.
for gorillas, I think.
Yeah,
They're
it's
bringing
like
back
a
gorillas for the first time in
rainforest.
30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's gonna be
for
huge.
you guys that have never been to San Antonio, come visit our zoo.
Yes.
And
I've
visit the
been
number
wanting to go to
2
the
zoo in
zoo
the country.
so
The number
bad.
2 zoo. Oh, they should write a jingle around it. Number 2 zoo.
I drove by the other day. It was really packed. It was like on a Sunday though, so that's probably why.
Yeah, we don't live too far from it. But when my family does come in, I tend to go, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot how much I love this
It's
place.
so cute.
It really takes you back to being a child.
It does.
If you're listening in, love or like the show, it really does help more people listen in. Facebook algorithm and other algorithms. And I don't even know what algorithm means. I just like to throw around that word. Basically, if you like it or love it, it shows more people,
Can
right?
you use it in a sentence?
Yeah. If you guys are watching the show, love the show because it helps the Facebook algorithm. That was a sentence, right?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Can I
Okay.
get a synonym? No, I'm
Well,
just kidding.
Shoot, girl, I've been out of college. I mean, not even college. I've been out of high school for how long? I don't know. Oh my
I'm doing
gosh.
like the spelling bee.
You okay, let's put you on the spot.
Nope,
How
That's what we
no.
thought.
how do you spell lettuce?
LETTUCE.
Oh, let's give her a round of
That's
applause. Oh no, never mind. I don't even know where it's at. We don't
was
even have
it.
a round of applause anymore.
But cheering is
Oh,
like
the cheering. Okay, gotcha. How are you guys doing this morning? I hope you're doing really, really well. Click the share button, top left, laugh out loud. Thanks, Ken. Yeah, click the share button for sure.
mhm.
So are you excited? It's like when you talk to these individuals, because you've talked to some bigwigs here in San Antonio, the mayor, you've
I
talked to
know.
people that are a part of like some of the biggest like
nonprofits and
Mhm.
businesses. Yeah.
That's awesome. So when you talk to these individuals that are part of the community, do you get nervous or is it kind of something you've already?
Early on, I got nervous.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I think the most nervous I got was when I was interviewing Ron Nirenberg, the mayor of San Antonio, for those,
Mhm.
tuning in that are not from San Antonio. I was really nervous. And also because that was in person.
Yeah.
And typically I would say about 90% of the interviews I do are over Zoom.
Mm.
So when you're used to that, I mean, you still get nervous, but you're like, at least you're not in person.
Yeah.
You're kind of like in the comforts of your home. I usually have my dogs near me. So
Yeah.
like, I don't get as nervous, but like at this point, I don't anymore. At this point, like interviewing him, I mean, to me, I see him like, oh, he's the CEO of the San Antonio Zoo, but I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that's
You
and
know?
we're so happy to be working with Zach. So Zach started working with
Yeah.
us not long ago, and he's super cool. He fits our culture very well, and he's always really super helpful here around the office. So we love hanging out with him. And obviously, he has an awesome podcast, and we actually met on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
How did we come across?
Well, and what really stuck out, and I honestly don't know who followed who first, but what really stuck out to me was, and we were having this conversation yesterday, was we're talking about like innovation in the insurance industry,
Yeah.
and there's been articles I've read, especially when it comes to life insurance. I'm sure you might know more about the Medicare side, but in the industry, you have a lot of agencies and agents that, I mean, they're using tactics and marketing strategies that are like outdated. When
Yeah.
it comes to innovation, you just don't see that often.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so for me, I was like, that was something early on. I knew like, okay, I want to learn what worked in the past, but like, what are we doing going forward? Right? Because different generations, myself, I'm a millennial, but we have Gen Z, right? Like we're getting older. We're
Yes.
buying life insurance policies because we're having families, right?
Mhm.
Our parents, Gen Xers, are becoming that are going to be turning 65 later on. Like, what are we doing to innovate?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, we have this Medicare agency doing a podcast.
Yeah.
So that's what really stuck out to me. That's like, I got to reach out.
And
to
by
these
the way, guys, for
Yeah.
those of you that are that were listening, this is exactly my point, that we're there at the Medicare Con 2022, and I spoke on this very topic of setting yourself apart, like not trying to be like everybody else and being different, right? Or not different,
Yes.
but yourself, being authentic, but also standing out in a crowd. And there are a lot of podcasts out there, but we were like, let's do it in a way that nobody else is really doing it in the Medicare side and insurance side. And I feel like we bring a different vibe. So when we hired Brooke to do our Instagram, I'm like, Brooke, our Instagram sucks. Can you just do it? And believe it or not, I don't touch her Instagram. She does everything. I might do one little post like every now and then, but she's growing her Instagram, and she grew our Instagram. And because of that, and because of all the footage, Zach reached out to us on Facebook, and she's like, hey, there's this guy reaching out to us. Do you want to talk to him? I'm like, yeah, sure. And we end up meeting. Well, it turns out that he's in the retirement industry and helping teachers and within that realm.
Right.
And I was like, oh, well, this would be a perfect fit for you, right? So, but he saw us through Instagram doing the live show. So that's
Right.
what and
Yeah.
That is literally what stood out. And I think I got you addicted to Cafe Martinez too.
oh my
By being
gosh.
yeah.
Yes.
She was going there for like every day for a month.
Say that.
Every
Desiree, my
day.
wife doesn't know that.
I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was there because their coffee is so good. Like
So good.
That's the reason.
it's an interesting, it's a, yeah, and then tacos too. Desiree, God, we're not cooking on the show anymore, right? Desiree's good morning. Good morning, Jessica. Yeah, so Cafe Martinez is a coffee shop, and I've always wanted to do like with the agents when hey, meet me at the taco
Yeah.
shop and let's have coffee, let's chat, like a whatever. And because their coffee is really good and they got really good tacos, but it's different.
It's
Hey,
super.
Melissa, where's Mama Sylvia?
Oh,
I
she's
know
sick.
she got sick, girl.
She'll be back next week.
She can't hang for a whole week at Medicare Con.
She can't party hard. She can't party hard anymore. It's okay.
She's a little
still
under
love
the
you.
weather. And when we got back to San Antonio, I don't know if it was a change or maybe we got
I
sick.
think
I
it
don't know.
was. I think it was probably changing
Yeah.
weather.
But we're very congested in our nasal.
The whole situation here for a few weeks was bad with all the pollen. so-
Yeah. And
Oh,
can you move your mic closer to you? Just move it closer to you. There you
Okay.
go. Everyone was exhausted. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when we got back, she actually showed up today. She was going to do it,
Yeah.
but she's coughing. I'm like, you need to go home. You're not going to be coughing on my show. Not on here. You're not. But I know if you guys are in San Antonio, or if you're not in San Antonio, want to learn more about San Antonio, go visit Zach's podcast,
Mhm.
SA Talk Now, right? Is it SA
Yeah.
Talk Now?
So the show, like I said, is SA Talk that I host. It's a talk show where I bring on those great guests.
Mhm.
But you can follow on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at SA Pod Network. SA is in San Antonio, Pod is in Podcast
Mhm.
Network.
Yeah.
Find us on there, and you can find all the episodes. And of course, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify,
Cool.
Stitcher, all the regular podcast platforms. But,
Yeah, that's cool. And
I-
so what made you decide to want to get started on that?
Well, in the industry, you
Yeah.
know that you have to, especially
Mhm.
early on, you have to put the time in.
Yeah, it's a lot of
and
work.
you have to make connections. You have to give yourself, you're branding, but you want to get your name out there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And one way to do that, I was a big podcast listener before.
Yeah.
Most of the time I listen to sports podcasts. I'm a big sports fan. But I was listening to a business podcast, and it focused a lot on insurance. And I listened to this one, and I could not tell you the names. I couldn't even tell you the host of that podcast. But that episode, I literally remember vividly driving down 410, listening to this episode.
Mhm.
And the guy on there was an insurance agent who had a podcast in his town.
Uh-huh.
And he was there talking about how it's so important to just create either a YouTube channel or a podcast and become what's called like the mayor of your town or
Yeah.
the mayor of your
Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
And basically you are the person that they look to
Yep.
for whatever it is. And like, I saw that, I took that, and I was like, okay, I need to do something like
Mhm,
this,
mhm.
whether it be a YouTube channel, whether it be a podcast.
Yeah.
I need to do something like
Yeah.
that so people can know who I am.
Mhm, mhm.
Right. So sure, you might come across me as the podcast host, but you're going to come to find out that I do insurance.
Yeah.
You're going to come to find out that I can help set up retirement plans.
yeah.
But you're going to hear me and hear my voice through the podcast.
You're going to come to find out he's a Chargers fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yes, very much so. Very much a big sports fan. So, but I will say, as an agent, though, I think what it's really helped, and again, I know you started the podcast later on in your insurance
Mhm,
career, but
mhm.
as someone who started early in their insurance career, and being in sales, like I feel like it helped me
Yeah.
get over.
Mhm.
You asked me about being nervous,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like getting over those nerves, talking to like CEOs and bigwigs. Like
Uh-huh.
if I'm talking to a client, I don't get nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
Now sure, I need to hone in on like my skills,
Uh-huh.
right? And you need to practice and get better and say
Yeah.
this, say that.
Yeah.
But like as far as nerves,
Mhm,
Yeah.
or like calling, it's like I don't have that because of doing the podcast.
Yes.
I
yeah.
got over those nerves.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And I think for me too, like I was doing a couple of speaking engagements over the week, one at Medicare Con and then another one for Tehu. And normally I'd be like, like, what am I doing? I'm so scared. Like I'm sweating. Cause one of the hardest things to do is public speaking. In any format, whether it's holding a seminar for your clients, whether it's talking to 5 people, whether it's coaching your team, whether it's talking to a group of 90, 100 people, it feels the same. Like you guys have been in school where,
Mhm.
remember that once where those times where we'll pull out your book and now we're going to read.
Oh,
And now we're going to go around and everybody's
Popcorn.
going to read a paragraph, right?
Popcorn reading.
Popcorn.
Oh gosh. I don't even know that term. It's been so long. They do because they're youngins, right?
Youngins.
And I get so, did you guys get nervous? Did
I
you get
used to
nervous?
like to read out.
Yes,
I used to like
I
to
would
read out
get
loud.
so nervous.
She would just get anticipation, like, hurry up. Get
I'm like,
to me.
come on, just hurry up and come my turn. I want to read. Get it over
Do
with.
you remember in elementary school, like, did you ever do the choir? Like, because elementary school, everyone had to be in choir. They would have like class
Yeah, like
choirs.
music class.
So one time I was so nervous because I was like in the second row, so they could see me,
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and
yeah.
literally like fainted.
Oh,
Like
wow.
in a little choir recitals. Like that's how nervous I would get.
Oh my
It was like the worst.
That's
And just like, and luckily someone was in front of me. Well, probably not luckily for them because I
Yeah.
fell on them. But like they caught me so I didn't hit the ground. You know.
in like the PTA meeting. Like you were gonna perform and then you fainted.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
that was the
yeah,
worst.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
I would get so nervous now because with the live show that we do, you can't see you guys, but I see that there's quite a few of you guys on, right? So we're speaking to you guys. But when you're like the anticipation of the moment, it was like, oh, like you get nervous. But this has helped me a lot. So like when I do like Zoom calls or anything else, I'm not as nervous. It's more like the excitement to do it, right? Maybe that I confuse that with nerves.
Mhm.
But in the first 3 minutes, you have nerves because sometimes you're like, okay, do these people actually like? I was telling Carmenza the other day, I don't like to speak at things or do things if I don't feel like I'm providing value or at least entertainment.
Mhm.
Because then otherwise I'm just talking to be popular and that's not the goal, right? But like at Medicare Con, I did a little thing about the live show. I didn't have to do that. I mean, there's no gain for me other than getting my name out there, but I wasn't selling anything. I'm not doing anything. But for me, it was a good opportunity because I get practice to be in front of more people, which will lead into like when I do big seminars for my clients or
Mhm.
things like that. But it's a tough, it's not, I don't know how they do it when they're on the big stage, when there's like
Yeah.
300 people.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to do, but I don't think I've ever been that kind of nervous person. I think ever since I was little, I'd like to sing and act. So I did a couple of plays and I think it was like middle school and stuff. And then my previous employer, I like to brag about this because I didn't really get paid for it and it was more of an experience, but I really liked it. And the first one that I had to do was a voice commercial for the company that I work for. So I had to do it in Spanish. Now Spanish is not my primary
let's hear it. Let's
language.
hear it.
Shoot.
Who,
And
who
so-
wants to hear Adriana give a little
And so the
number?
recording still exists. I sent it to my family because I was like so excited because I was going to be on the radio. And so I remember the lady who was telling me what to say, and she's like, "Say it like this," and I'm like,
Oh.
so she was like really coaching me and like really telling me what to do. And so then that was like one of my first experiences. And then I would do TV interviews, and then I did interviews with Russell Rush, and they would run all weekend. And so then it was just more one of those things where they were like, "Hey, Joanna, can you do another interview?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure."
Yeah,
And it becomes more natural.
Mhm.
But I think for me, like initially it's like you get like the butterflies. You're like, crap, I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I think when you're talking about something, like you said, that you're knowledgeable on, you feel comfortable, you're
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
as nervous.
Yeah.
I just always, Claudia's like, she's a natural. I'm trying to talk like Claudia.
movie star.
Oh,
I used to brag about it all the time because I guess I did do it a lot for my previous company, and
Yeah.
I think that was like my favorite part towards the end is that I got to do a lot of these TV things.
Let us know if you're watching, and I know Zach's going to have to go here soon. And so, Zach, I know. Well, first of all, we want to say appreciate you for filling in.
Yay.
We are going to have Zach probably as a stand-in sometimes too, because Sylvia, likes to take vacations and stuff like that. Or maybe when
Likes to play
maybe
hooky.
when
I went on
Oh
vacation.
yeah,
when
sure.
Adriana's
on vacation,
There you go. Next week.
she's
month.
finally taken a vacation after a whole year of being with us,
Mhm.
or even a year and longer, right?
Yay.
Yes, I'm finally getting out of town without my kids.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
But let us know in the comments if you are a nervous wreck, if you're put on the spot, or if you have like some type of public speaking engagement. It doesn't have to be to like a huge audience, just maybe 3 people or 2 people or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Let us know in the comments if you're let us know if you get nervous.
Well, I remember the first time we did a lunch and learn. The first time I did my very first lunch and learn, I didn't do it, but I watched. And I remember watching her doing it and I was like, holy crap. It was like so good and so natural. And I think when you're talking about something that you're knowledgeable about, like when you know what you're talking about, I think it comes natural. So you're not as nervous.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I were
It
to
does.
stand up on a stage of 100 people and talk about motherhood, oh man, I'd be up there all day long and be like, oh, this and that, because I feel natural about
Yeah,
that.
that's
right.
true. That is very
So
true.
I feel like the more comfortable you are in your topic,
Mhm.
that's when it comes through naturally.
Yeah.
And to kind of piggyback, and I'll leave you with this because I got to get going. But
Yeah.
to kind of piggyback,
And by the way, don't hit that thing because it'll go boop.
Oh, I know.
to kind of
But,
piggyback off that, and look, like I'm only a few years into my career as an insurance agent, so there's not much advice that I can give. But the one piece that I will give, and I typically try to give this advice to any like small business owner, is just like you have to take those opportunities. Like you have to take them.
Mhm.
Just because you're nervous or just because you think you might fail, like you got to do it. Put yourself out
Yep.
there on stage,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because you'll get over those nerves.
Yeah.
And that was something like I endured because like I got invited last October to San Antonio Startup Week,
Mhm.
and they had it in person, and it was not only on Facebook Live, but it was also like in person. Like they literally had a live audience
Yeah.
there. Having to record a
Cool.
podcast live in front of a lot of viewers, but then also in like the live audience was so like nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
literally I thought the microphone that I was
Did you-
holding was
did
going
you
to fall
faint?
through my I didn't faint this time, luckily. But doing things like that.
Yeah,
And you just like I could have easily been like, I'm not used to doing in person. Sorry, I'll have to pass. No.
Yeah.
I took that opportunity,
And look
Good
at
now-
the
for you.
opportunities
and
you've
now
had
I'm comfortable with it.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
And I hope to be
Bye,
back
Zach.
soon.
All right,
Yes.
Zach, and go follow Zach at SA Pod Network on Instagram.
SA Pod Network.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
All right, Zach. We'll see you.
Bye.
Bruh.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the first time they asked me, I was like kind of skeptical because the girl who used to do all that stuff for them was like, I don't want to do it anymore. And the first time I was like, crap. And then after a while, and it's true. Like you never know what that opportunity could
Yeah.
bring you.
Mhm,
Like
mhm.
you were asked to speak at these two events
Mm-hmm.
and look at all these amazing opportunities that you've
Mhm.
come across now,
Mhm.
the people you've met.
Yeah.
And if you would have said no because you were nervous
Yeah.
or because you thought you were going to mess up, then you missed your opportunity to make all these connections.
I will say, if you're watching, it doesn't matter who you are. This goes for anything. And I know it sucks. It's hard for some people because some people are not socially awkward, but like they get nervous. There's
Yeah.
what's the social anxiety
Mhm.
thing?
Yes,
And that's a real
social
thing, right?
anxiety is a real thing.
But I would encourage people just to meet new people every day. Just meet somebody new. I think that's going to be one of my
Mhm.
goals for the end of these next few months ending the year is to try to meet somebody new every day, whether it's on the phone, whether it's you
Ooh.
like, right?
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Whether it's in person, whether it's through a relationship built online. That's going to be my goal, is to meet one new person, because when we were at these events at Medicare Con, I had a lot of my friends there that were in the industry, but I was able to get to know some people that, one, I look up to in the industry and we've become friends. And two, I've been able to get to know other people that we're just friends. Like we just like to hang out, but knowing those people led me to other people. And now it's just kind of like, boom, boom, like this big spider web of connections.
Mhm.
So my goal is to meet one person from here on out, is to try to meet one person, a new person every day. Again, whether it's because that's kind of hard, right? I'm always in the office,
Yeah.
but even if it's picking up the phone with that new vendor that we want to work with, or picking up the phone with a new client, or, hey, thank you so much for doing business with us. Maybe you met them, but I didn't meet them.
Mhm.
I would encourage you guys to do the same. Desiree's like, I'm all for it. I'm going to meet 10
Me
people a
too.
day.
If you're honest, like, stop talking to people.
Well, I just get creeper vibes from people, and I'm not interested in talking to creepers.
And I never get creeper
Perps.
vibes. So I'm so
That's
passive.
that's because it's not that you're passive. It just goes right over her head, and I can just see right through it.
Desiree's,
I worked in a gym for a really long time, and I can spot a creeper from
But
like
I
a
worked-
mile away.
I worked in the night industry. And
yeah, there's creepers
way
everywhere.
more- yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I
think
just don't care.
I think-
Hold
yeah.
on. I'm gonna answer this real quick.
Oh.
Hey,
he's
hey, Sandra.
answering a call.
Hey, you're on the live show right now.
Hi, what's up, everybody?
All right. Hey, I'm gonna call you after this. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye, Sandra.
Sandra, you should be looking at us live right now. What the heck?
Sandra.
Sandra Gebhardt. She's actually a master at marketing, organic traffic and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So,
okay.
yeah, so I just wanted to put her on the spot right there. We need to get this thing hooked up so that way we can have call-ins.
You gotta
Because
figure it
Oh,
out.
that'd be cool.
so
We're
we've been
like,
trying to have call-ins. We were doing it in the beginning, and now
call
we can't.
in.
Yeah, so that way you guys can call in with your questions for those.
Like the radio station.
for those of you that don't know how to type and watch at the same time.
like the ones on the radio that are like, shout out to my vato.
Oh no. So what are you guys gonna do this weekend? For those of you that are on, and thank you so much. We always appreciate you guys on the show, liking the show, sharing the show. It really does help us out. We've grown the show pretty well over the last year. We've come long ways, and we don't stop here. I mean, we have big goals for the show.
Yes.
Really big goals, and we can't wait to grow with you guys and for you to just continue to watch the growth, and hopefully we grow together, right? That's the goal. And anything that you guys need, if it's insurance questions, if it's life questions, if it's telling us a joke, let us know. We love to hear it. We love to engage with you guys on our show, and we always just enjoy having you guys here. Without you guys, we don't really have a show. Because I think if we saw a big fat zero like for a whole hour, we'd kind of be less likely.
Well,
to-
don't say that because people go in there and watch it afterwards too.
Well, that is true. People do go, but it's so fun live. when we
Live
have-
audience is cool.
Yeah, the live audience is so cool because we get to engage with them. And just by the way, I keep pointing this way because there's this big screen right
A
here
TV
where I
over
can see
here.
all your comments. I can see you guys watching. I can see when you like the show. I can see when you don't like the show.
Dang, She's seeing all of it.
I'm seeing all of everything behind the scenes.
yes.
Everything behind the scenes.
And
So
that's the
I
tea.
have to give it up to my crew over here, Desiree and Adriana, because I have been gone for a whole week. It's very rare that I'm out of the office for a whole week. Very rare.
Mhm.
And so I told them, look, guys, unless it's like a major thing, just, handle it. I trust you guys. Okay. I did not get one question. Y'all didn't ask me for anything.
Nope.
No. And so I have to give it up to them because they handled the clients, they handled their duties, they handled the agents that rely on us a lot with questions. I know Adriana helps out a lot with our agent partners, answering their questions, helping them make sure that they are helping clients, closing deals. And Desiree over here, she's also helping clients. And so just you guys keeping it all together, I really do appreciate it. I didn't tell them that. I wanted to do it live on the show.
You don't have to do that.
We handled each other.
There was, and then I came back and the whole office was like
Oh yeah.
clean, spick and span. And I was like, yes. In the back of my head, I was kind of like hoping. I was like, man, I hope my office is like, I don't know. And not that it's expected, but I was like, oh, wow, y'all clean my office. That's so nice of y'all.
She was like,
Adriana's like, well, I cleaned your office. Desiree just watched me.
whoa. I
Was that
couldn't-
true?
Saying anything.
No? No?
She vacuumed and took the ice out of the ice box.
What was going on with the ice?
Oh my
It-
goodness.
So like with the little fridges, I used to have one where I used to work at it. And so what happens is it starts to build up ice. And
Oh.
if you don't take it out, like before you know it, you don't have a freezer because
Oh, wow.
it's a lot of like the buildup.
Mm.
So
she was there with like a screwdriver, like picking at it.
Once I start something, I have to finish it. So
Well,
I
that's
started
good.
and I had to
was like-
finish it.
It was therapeutic for her. So I try not to get in her way.
She's like, you mother.
Yes.
No,
No,
Hey, while she was watching a murder podcast.
No, I'm just the kind of person and my sister could probably attest this. I'm just the kind of person that if I start something, I finish it.
That's
I
good.
I have to. Like
Yeah.
it's not in my nature to do things
I-
half-assed.
Well, and you know what? I will tie this back to a client, okay? Because I don't know if the client's watching right now, but we had a client, and because obviously you guys have all dealt with this with COVID, the Social Security offices were backed up. They were closed for a while. They recently just opened back up. But things were getting lost in the mix especially with submitting things in paper. And the Part B was delayed. And every single day, Adriana was coming in, checking on the client, making sure that, the Part B was effective. And finally, yesterday, she's like, the Part B is effective.
She was going crazy.
So that's what she talks
Yeah.
about, seeing things through all the way.
Mhm.
And I give you kudos to there because a lot of agents don't do that. They'll be like, well, just call me when you get the Part B. And not
Yeah.
everyday agents are like checking every day, making sure it's effective.
Yeah.
So that's going above and beyond and seeing, you sure did see the whole thing the whole way. Bye, Melissa. Have a great weekend. She's so cool. I like Melissa's super cool. She's our new best friend.
I kept telling her, I was like, maybe we should just pour the hot water on it. It'll melt it. She was like, no, we can't
I
do
was like,
that.
you're gonna break the
I was like,
fridge. You can't do that.
Okay, okay.
You can't. I would have done the same thing. We
Yeah,
would have been
right?
buying a new fridge.
Yeah, I would have just been like, no, I literally told her, I was like, well, if Victoria's here, she'd probably just buy another one.
Wait, so Claudia says when we start it, we have to finish it. So you're like that too, Claudia?
Yeah.
I wonder
think
what
that's-
Claudia is. I wonder what color she is.
She's probably
a
the same
yellow.
colors as I am. Probably a little bit more.
Her daughters
on
were the
some.
same colors as her.
On some. But yeah, I would probably say we're very similar but very different. So I think we've come to a point in our relationship because we used to butt heads a lot. She's
Mhm.
my older sister, you know, I'm her baby sister, but I have to like, we don't agree on exactly everything.
Yeah.
So literally I just told her, I'm like, look, let's just agree to disagree.
Mhm.
Like I respect what you think and you don't have to like what I say.
Yeah.
But I think we're just like that.
Yeah.
Her and my husband, it's funny because her and my husband are like, they are like best friends because they take our girls to ballet every Thursday.
I know. I always ask her
And
about
so they're like dance moms together.
Dance moms.
And they're very similar. They have very similar personalities. Like
Yeah.
they're very like not very emotional or whatever. And me and her husband are like kind of like that. So we definitely married like each
This-
other. They're,
okay.
like, yeah, in personalities. That's actually kind of funny.
Interesting.
It's actually kind of funny, but yeah, my husband's very like matter of fact. Like this is how it is. It is what it is. And I'm just like, why? Why does it have to be like that?
Well,
Like,
it could be like a
Yeah.
family thing because when I look at all of our family and like who my sisters have married and myself, all of them are like not so they're laid back. They're like not high.
oh
end.
yeah, I'm
They're-
definitely high strung for sure.
I'm just like high strung all the time. Like we gotta get. I mean, I'm easygoing.
You're not high strung.
she is. You just haven't seen it.
Maybe I just don't get her like that, right?
No, you don't. You don't. Well,
Very chill
okay.
vibes.
I've calmed down a lot, but like I'm always like I would always be like, what time do we got to get there? Oh, we got to get there on time. And a little like I'm just like I'm just
Yeah.
very like not angst, anxiety. Is it?
Yeah.
That's just high anxiety. I'm a
I
high.
think it's because you and I are very similar in that we can read people's personalities and people's energies. And so I think we like feed, like, I think that's what it is
Yeah.
I can feed off of people's energies. Me and my sister always joke around because our kids are like that too.
Yeah.
Like my middle daughter's like that and her daughter's like that. And so like, even if we try to fake it, like I'll walk in and she'll be like, how was your day? I was like, it was great. It was awesome. And she's like, are you sure? Are you sure it was awesome? Are you sure? I was like, yeah, it was great. So what are you talking about? It's fine.
She's
she's
using
like-
the old sales route.
She's
Yeah.
very intuitive. We're very intuitive people. So like, I don't like being around people that are like in a bad mood or something because I can feed off of their energy.
Mhm.
And I'm all like, oh,
Me
no,
too.
I have a very
now I
time
have to
faking
be.
anything.
Now I have to be like, oh,
No, Desiree
You'll
does
see
not.
it right away. I'll be like,
Desiree will tell you the truth. If you don't want to hear the truth, don't.
yeah, I cannot fake it. I can't.
I'll be like, Desiree, I'm eating unhealthy this week. She's like, yeah, you are. I'm like, thanks. And then there's Adriana. Desiree, no, she's
well,
not.
here's the difference between her and I. I'm a very honest person too. She just has a very different way about coming about it.
Yeah.
She's a little bit more
I'm just like-
crude. I'm more like a little bit more tactful about it. I'm like, well, maybe we shouldn't be eating that. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad for us. She's like, it's bad for you. You're gonna get fat.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, you're already fat.
Yeah,
No, I would not say that.
I'm just a little bit more like I'm
Yeah.
more like, okay, I'll be direct. I'll be honest with you if you ask me. I think
Yeah.
that's why probably a lot of people don't ask me because I'm like, do you really want to hear the truth? Go tell her the truth.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah.
But I'm a little bit more like not as
you're a little bit more nurturing. That's what my
Not
family
as.
always says too. They don't really ask me for opinions.
She
'cause
just
I
says
tend
it.
to
She
be
doesn't
like
you don't
the-
have to ask her. She just tells you.
Yep.
Well,
And you have to enjoy that.
I tend to
Yeah.
be try to see the best in people as much
Yeah.
as I can, but when I'm at my wits end, I'll tell you how it is.
I'm the same way too.
I'm really
like,
nice.
I just don't like you. I just don't like
What
you.
is
I
wrong with
just
you?
don't like you.
Just get away
Yeah.
from me.
No, I don't
No.
want to do that.
But I will go a long time. I have like
You
I
hold
try.
it in for a long time.
Yeah, and then when it bottles up, it comes out. but that's just the way it goes.
No, but I think it's good to work with different personalities. I think it's good to work with all this stuff. Like we were talking this morning and she was giving me feedback and I was like, oh my God, why am I crying? And it wasn't that she was being mean. It was like, it's bringing up all this other stuff that I need to like deal with and handle. And it's crazy because you were saying that there's sales training sales trainings that go on where people get really emotional because it brings up all these other things. And I think once we can get to a point where you take feedback and it not take it so personal or get so upset, but it's because a person that it's coming from, they really, really care about you. Yeah. That's when you can tell the difference.
Yeah. There's a difference when somebody's saying, well, you should do it like this because that's how they think is, but there's another way when people are actually giving you feedback and, good morning, Gloria. Good morning.
That's my grandma.
Oh, good morning, crew. It's Granny. We're going to talk about insurance. I promise, Granny, sometimes.
I know. She is always asking me if she could get Medicare.
Let's be very clear. I think I brought this up last time. I was like, okay, let's be very clear. Yes, our podcast is named The Medicare Space. We're not just going to talk about Medicare and insurance. We talk about our workplace. Like, what are we doing? What is our lives? Like how in the life of our company, like how we interact and how we do. So just total disclaimer for all of us.
But we talked about that yesterday too, about how like when you give Adriana feedback versus when you give me feedback, because we're two different people, we like have two different types of, I guess, reactions. Yeah. Like y'all really get into it. Like y'all really like talk about
because
it.
I'm a very
and
logistic person and I'm very analytical and I'm very like deep.
And I'll be sitting there and I'll be like,
Desiree this morning was like, but I just think, and she's like, what did you say? You said, what did you say?
What about her?
It's not, no, you were right there. We were talking, we were chit-chatting right here, and we were just going through a coaching session. And then you're like, I think, but you're like, just talk about it tomorrow or talk about it another day. Or like, I don't know what.
Sometimes I tell Adriana, I'm like, you're stressing me out right now. I'm like, I don't want to talk about
from the person who stresses everybody else out.
But sometimes I just don't like to talk about certain things. Sometimes I just want to be chill.
Yeah. So I was telling them yesterday, I talked to them completely different. And this is for feedback for you guys. Like I said, we don't just talk about insurance. We talk about life advice sometimes that you can actually take home. And so like if
this goes into your health,
goes into your health because, you know, when you're stressed, you're not healthy. And when there's animosity in your workplace or in your home or with your spouse or with your friend, it sucks. It's not a good feeling.
No,
and
it's not.
And you go to sleep thinking about it all the time. Like, man, is she mad at me? Like, what did I do? Did I say it wrong? Or, you know, and so when you're talking to people, you have to know who you're talking to because you might respond a certain way. And this goes back to if you're helping clients as well, is we do not talk to every client the same.
Nope.
We run across a different variety of different clients, different situations. So our tone, our because there's some clients that can talk chit chat. Like yesterday, I was talking to one of our new clients, like, have you watched 1883? And we're talking about Ozark. And then we went off and talking about other things. And so that's just how we talk with our clients. We become friends. But there's certain people that you just can't talk like that with because they don't want you to talk like that with them. They're just like, get to the point.
Professional.
You know, I just need insurance. Bye. I'm like, okay, cool. Bye. Like, thanks. We'll help you. But
okay.
But you just have to know who you're talking to. And most of the time when you have a spouse or you have a relationship or whatever, you can't always respond the same way that you always have in your relationship. And that goes for everything, especially if you guys are constantly butting heads. Like if you're like, God, why are we always fighting? What is going on? Like, what is going on? Chances are one of you are not communicating the right, like you're just communicating the wrong way based on their personality.
Or you're not understanding the person. So I think we are really quick to judge and say things about people when in reality, we're not understanding them. So when you understand the way a person functions or the way a person is, then you can really, truly appreciate them. Like I was telling you yesterday, I was like, for the longest time, and he's going to kill me because I'm saying this, but it's true. I like when I first met my husband, we're like polar opposites. I'm like super neat freak, OCD, like just want things in order. Don't like destruction. I like order to everything. And he's like, very free spirit. Like I'll do shit when I want. When I want to. I'll not very much in order. And for the longest time, I try to be like, why can't you just be like me? Like, just be like me so that we can get along. And it was like, I went about it all wrong because I realized that I married him because he was nothing like me.
Yeah.
And he was such a free spirit. He's very confident, very outgoing. And I lacked a lot of those things at the moment and still work on those. And so for me, I was like, oh crap, I didn't marry him because he was like me. I married him because he's very different. So I think that not only applies to your marriage or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, but I think it applies to like every relationship that you have. When you learn to realize that that person is not going to be like you and not going to do things the way you do them, then you can really like appreciate that relationship.
Yeah. And a lot of the things that we talk about in our coaching sessions have nothing to do with insurance, especially because it's more because a lot of our job as agents. So that way you guys that are consumer understand you understand what's going on. We're not just trying to sell you something. It's a really psychology. There's a lot of psychology behind it because we're having to really like learn about the client and understand their needs. Priscilla says, I have definitely learned to say the same thing in different ways for different people. For sure. I was just talking about this yesterday. Was I not about my brothers and sisters? I was like, look, all my brothers and sisters were all the same in certain aspects, but I talked to every one of them differently. And I was telling her yesterday, actually, my sister Priscilla, we work a lot alike because I'm like, she was texting me. She's like, hey, got this done. Cool. Thanks. Look at it later. Okay, cool. Let me know. And it's just like quick. Like we're just get to the point. We're not having to give like 10, 20 sentences. Where some of our brothers and sisters are like more, hey, like you get a long message, right? So, but yesterday I was talking to my wife and we were talking about some of these things because she's reading a book right now that has a lot to do with the personality traits and stuff like this. And so she's learning the way I communicate better. So she's like, babe, I was going to send you this long text message about my car because right now the car's in the shop. And she's like, and I took it down to like this much. And so she showed me the text message and I said, well, let me show you the text message I wrote back. I was actually going to make my 5-sentence shorter, but I made it a little longer for you because I was like, I would have been like, okay, my love. But I said, okay, my love, let you know when I'm leaving. So I added a little bit more to cater to her, you know. But yesterday I was cracking up because talking about the messy one and not the messy one, but just like free spirit. That's me. Yeah. I'm like, whatever, you know. And she's like,
And our kids are, I think God is trying to teach me a lesson because all of our kids are like that.
Yeah.
They're very like, laid back, like chill, not very you know, like me, very high strung. Like I'm always feel like I'm in a hurry. I need to do stuff. Like I'm like, I gotta clean, I gotta cook, I have to work out. So I'm always like in a hurry and I'm very high strung. And I think that's where me and my sister are similar. And like I think it drives our husbands nuts because we're always like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do very like systematic, like I gotta do A, B, and C.
Yeah.
But I was just listening to something yesterday and it had to do with what we were talking about. But it was this lady and she was saying in a relationship, you should learn the kinds of things that a person loves for you to do for them. She's like, I don't care much for flowers. Yeah, they're nice if somebody gets them for me. But my husband, when I was really busy, he used to put petroleum in my car. And I guess because they live in wherever, right? And she's like, and I used to think that was so sweet. She's like, that's the kinds of things I'm talking about. And it made me think about my marriage and how I do things like that for my husband. And my husband does things like that for me. There's all these memes online that they're like, yeah, I find it sexy when my husband empties out the dishwasher or like takes out the trash. And those are the kinds of things when you're so busy and you're going that we find romantic and we find nice. You know, it's not necessarily an expensive gesture. That you have to do it something expensive. It's like, no, just can you take out the trash?
So it's so funny because I'm more like, okay, like this might be TMI, but it's not TMI, but so Carmen's is like, here, let's change our pillowcases. And like she's very neat about it, folds the old pillowcase, puts it where it's supposed to go to wash later. And this is me. Take the pillowcase off, put the new one on. Do like that and throw it on the other couch over there. And so there she is like, she's like, I knew, like, I was like, she's like, oh, so she gets up out of bed, goes, gets my pillowcase, folds it, puts it over there in the whatever. I said, babe, the reason I do these things is because I know, like, if I have to leave a little mess here and there because then what are you going to do? Like, it's going to be way too clean. And then you're just going to be like, what do I do? Because the house is so in order that you're not going to know what to do with yourself. And now, so what I do is on purpose, I leave these little trails of mess.
Oh my goodness.
That's super nice. I love that.
That's my love language.
That's your love language.
Leaving a little.
Lorenzo freaks out when he starts seeing me like clean stuff. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, babe? What are you gonna do? What are we gonna go? Or don't we have stuff to do? I'm like, yeah, I gotta clean. He's like, crap, the cleaning monster is coming out. Because I have learned to kind of tone it back a bit. You know what they say, if you can't beat them, join them. So there's certain things where I'm just like, I'm not gonna deal with that today. And then it catches up to me and I'm like, damn it. But yeah, no, I think learning the personality, but also not losing yourself. Like I haven't lost myself completely. Like I still like things clean, but also just kind of like, okay, I need to be a little bit more malleable is what it is. It's just being more malleable. I wasn't as malleable before. So that used to be my favorite word.
I was like, how it's a keyword.
It's a key. So you're more flexible. Like it's, you're more flexible. And so for me, that's big, especially for my children, because I want them to learn. Like it's a give and a take, right? So like sometimes we'll give, sometimes we'll take, but not always taking, because that's just not a relationship.
Yeah.
I wonder how it's gonna be when I'm married, guys. Like in the very future.
You're
in the very future.
We're gonna put it in our contract.
But they're always talking about their marriages. I'm like, I don't know. Can't relate.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Can't relate.
I waited a long time to get married.
Yes, she did.
I got married at 38. I got married at 38 years old.
Gina.
Carmenza, I won't say her age, but let's just say we're both 38. Like she still looks like she's 20. But I waited. I love you just the way you look pretty. Oh, that's so cute. But yeah, Desiree, you ain't getting married anytime soon. And that's coming from a friend, not an employer, because I can't say that.
Yeah, she always says not to get married.
Don't do it, Desiree. Your mom.
Sylvia.
Don't do it, Desiree. That's so funny.
Don't do it.
Yeah, but you don't be in a. When I was young, that was so like, and I'm gonna get controversial here. And there's nothing wrong with getting married young. If you're in love and you feel like that's the right, but there shouldn't be pressure. Like you got to get married.
I think in y'all's generation, y'all's age range, I was telling Adriana, it was such a thing just to get married. Like it was just like marriage. Like you just get with someone and then you'll get married.
Well, a lot of those marriages didn't last.
I think that like it's not a thing to get married. Now I don't think it's a thing to get married in my generation. Like, I don't think people focus on marriage at all now.
Okay, well,
I think it's just kind of like
it happens if it happens.
Yeah. And there's be less marriages in my generation than there was in y'all's.
There might be true.
This statistically? Do you have the numbers to prove it?
That's why I said I think.
We're just I
was at this event for NAHU, which is in Fort Worth, TAHU. And National Association of Health Underwriters. If you're an agent, you need to go join. You have to. You must. It's a duty. You have to do it. Go do it. But they were showing. We were learning. We were kind of getting some education there on certain things in our industry, and they showed us a chart, which I thought was interesting. Is that each year the population is getting older and living longer. So like right now, here's like a little bubble where it was like, okay, people are living up to, I don't know, 85 or whatever it is, right? Well, by these years, people are going to be living up to like 95. And by this year, people are going to be living way older.
It's all those vitamins.
It's all those vitamins.
Priscilla making
I will say this. Like, I know it's not like the same for everybody and everybody's not as fortunate to find it, but I got married when I was 20. And I have told Desiree this because I know Sylvia tells her not to do it. I'm like, look, I know people tell you not to get married, but if you feel like you found the person that you feel you can spend the rest of your life with, do it. Like, who cares what anybody says?
Yeah.
For me, it was different. Although I have been at the giving end of it and told her not to have children and not to get married, right? But for me, I will say it was hard in terms of like, because you're growing up together, right? So maybe if we would have waited, but I don't know. Maybe we wouldn't be where we're at if we had waited to get married.
Yeah.
Lorenzo and I literally have grown through all these stages in our life, and it's gotten better and better in every stage. And I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And I think that it's just like the both of us, we're very tenacious people. We don't give up, and we've never given up on each other. And I think we just really, really loved each other, and we love our life. But it's not the same for everybody, because a lot of people that I know that got married when my age, they didn't last very long.
Yeah.
They got divorced, and it's sad. But I mean, people who are married older and stay married for a long time get divorced too, right?
Yeah.
So I think it just has to do a lot. There's a lot of factors, but I have told her that. I'm like, look, if you find the person, marry them, because you never know. I mean, all of us are not as fortunate, right, to find your soulmate, the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. But I think that when you find them, you'll know. And I told her that all the time. I'm like, you'll know. It's not going to be like super like it is in the movies.
Like this.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like that. It's always like the most randomest thing.
You know,
it's like I think you'll know. And it'll be something worth fighting for, I think.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, sometimes you gotta just, man, I'd look at some of the past relationships and like, dodge a bullet there.
Yeah.
I really dodged that bullet.
There's a song for that too, by the way.
Oh, is there?
It's called Thanks for the Almost Maybes.
Oh,
it's a country song.
Man, those lyrics are good.
Thanks for the almost maybe.
Our country gal over here.
Yeah, I know all the songs. Yeah, no, I told her. And then sometimes I'm like, don't do it, Desiree. I'm a really big believer though.
Yeah.
If like somebody came to me and was like, man, they're telling me to have kids. I'm like, don't have kids if you don't have kids. I think people feel bad saying that around me. And I'm like, look, don't feel guilty. I have kids. It's not for everybody. And I didn't want to have kids when I was younger. And now I have 3. So I just think, again, it comes back to being like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Screw, I hate to sound so rude, but screw what everybody else thinks. What do you want?
Yeah.
If you want to enjoy your life, if you want to travel, well, then guess what? That's probably not going to happen if you have kids, or maybe you can, but it's going to be harder.
Yep.
And not until we get that Medicare Space private jet.
But
First class.
I just think that it can be done, but it'll be harder, and it's going to take longer.
Yep.
Right. I've kind of always lived my life backwards. I got pregnant, then I got married, then I had a baby, then we bought a house, then I got a really good job. So like it's always kind of been backwards, right? For me. And that's just the way my life's been. But I think we tend to like tell people, younger people, of course, like, hey, don't do it like that. But I mean, it's up to you. At the end of the day, whatever you feel you are ready for, the decision's going to be up to you.
Yeah. I feel like, this life, what's this life for? That's Creed, by the way. That's like early 2000s.
Giving y'all a bunch of lyrics, life lessons today.
Don't know that
Today
song.
is life lessons. Okay. The beauty of working here, which I love, is that we are very candid with each other, but we all want the best for each other.
Yes.
And when you guys listen with us, we want the best for you too, because you're our listeners. You're in here, you're growing with us. Sylvia says, I have several oh, poor Sylvia, she's having FOMO. She's over there like, I have several nieces and nephews in their late 20s and early 30s. Not even close to getting married. Things are changing. Yeah, and there's nothing
changing.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it comes down to the person. Like I tell Desiree all the time, I'm like, because she's always like, I can't believe you were 20 when you got married. And I was like, yeah.
It blows my mind because that's my age right now.
I was like, I don't regret it at all. Like I don't regret it. And obviously because my life has gone in the right direction. But for me, I feel like I do tell her, I'm like, what makes you happy? Like, what do you want to do? Like, how do you want to live your life? And what if you do end up meeting the person, it really just depends. I think it's very like,
and that might be in Mexico or it might be in Bahamas or you just never know.
New Zealand,
Ireland. Ireland.
Like Conor McGregor.
Just gonna have a little red-headed baby.
I think you sounded more British than Irish.
I sound like British.
You really need to go.
Well, you did it for a whole day. Didn't you do it for a whole day? You talked British for a whole day?
Yes. My British accent's pretty good, if I do say so myself.
Well, that was Irish now.
That's Irish, right?
You're confusing my brain.
No, it sounds British, but from the country. So there's different dialect, like depending on what part of England.
That's her green in there. That's the green. The green in her. Me and Desiree just like,
I'm like, wait, what did she just say? I don't even know what she just said.
So like kind of like how we have English here, but people are They speak like with an accent.
Howdy.
Kind of like that. And
Claudia says, I never wanted to get, I'm going to pretend I'm Claudia right now. I never wanted to get married. Then I thought, wait, I can't even remember how Claudia sounds.
I never spoke to her.
She doesn't talk like that. She's very serious.
Then I found my soulmate at 19 and it was all over.
It was over.
But they traveled a lot. I will say this about her. They traveled a lot. They would go on vacation all the time. And she barely had her baby when she was older too. So she waited a long time to have Emma Grace.
Yes, that's good.
Like right now, it's just traveling.
So guys, my sister might be actually pop. Is Priscilla still on? When does Andrea pop?
Priscilla.
When does Andrea pop? My sister's having twins right now, and I'm not there.
Oh my God, are they gonna FaceTime
I can't. Huh?
Are they
Is it giving you anxiety?
Well, yeah, because I'm normally always.
I know.
there.
I was gonna say. I know you're always there,
but I can't go because I'm like I'm very okay. So like I would love to see the babies, but like when I like just getting over something, I don't like to be around, and y'all shouldn't either. Don't be kissing newborn babies and stuff.
Yeah, don't be kissing that newborn baby.
In about 2 hours.
Oh, in about 2 hours.
How many kids is that for her?
That's she has 2 already, and she's having 2 more, so that'll be a total of 4.
Ooh.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Cool.
Well, and a boy and a girl.
Actually, like in the next hour.
Oh,
what? Oh my gosh.
Victoria's like, can I get a live stream?
Can I get a live stream of the pregnancy?
Best wishes.
So can you put me on the window?
We'll share it on the show. No, you won't.
Best wishes, and I hope and pray everything goes well.
Yes.
I know. Me too.
Babies.
Me too. I get so anxious.
Is she doing natural?
It's probably the most
it's a
scary part to do. Like it's probably the most scary thing in the world. Like I will not lie to you. You're carrying on these babies, and yes, they have the sonograms and they do all these things, and then you're like, oh my God, what if they have like 6 toes and they have like? So when they would come out, I would always be like, 1, 2.
So mom is watching right now. Mom, I think my mom is watching. Mom,
Josie.
Are you there? Are you there in the waiting room or in the room with Andrea?
Oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine.
We're getting live feedback right now from
this is a
hospital.
Breaking news.
Ooh, look, I'm gonna do that right now. No, I won't. I'm too lazy.
Breaking news. Andrea Cabrera about an hour out from giving birth to 2 newborn twins.
Oh, guess what? She had she's with Andrea, but she's watching Priscilla.
What?
She's watching. I saw her. She liked it.
She's with Andrea. Oh my God, this is so exciting.
We need the play-by-play. We need the play-by-play, Mom. She's like, I'm not supposed to be watching. I'm supposed to be with your sister. Hey, that's how popular our show is, guys. My mom is watching from a delivery room with my sister that's about to have twin babies.
Andrea's
right now.
all.
That's the. She's like, turn it off. Her
She's
voice
like,
sounds annoying.
Shut it up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Hey, we want to appreciate you guys for staying on with us. I know we've been gone for a couple of weeks, and we don't want to do that again. But we'll be sure that we
don't want to do that again.
We're gonna have to get the girls
except
equipped.
for when we go to Cancun.
No, we'll go live from Cancun. I'll take a couple of little pieces of equipment.
Oh, we could.
Yeah. Wait, are we going to Cancun? I thought you were going to Puerto Rico.
Oh no, I'm not.
Guys, we haven't decided where we're going. We're going somewhere.
I'm not going to Cancun.
Yeah.
Are you going to Cancun?
Well, I gotta set it up. I'm going to Belize. Maybe we could just move it to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
I mean, yeah.
Na, 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 na.
I would want to go to Puerto Rico too.
Oh,
because I'm gonna go to Cancun.
You gotta go.
I was gonna that all mixed together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Cancun hopefully in June, so then we could go to Puerto Rico in August.
Oh, okay.
Me planning out our itinerary.
Well, guys, that we've gone over. We appreciate you staying on. I'm gonna get off because I'm gonna hear the play-by-play on my sister.
Oh my god.
We appreciate you for always being on. We thank you so much for always showing up, supporting the show, liking the show, sharing the show. Be sure to next time tag your friends that you think would get a good laugh or that wants to hear some silly stuff. Like I said, we talk a little bit of insurance and a lot of everything else. If you guys don't have any questions for us, have a great weekend. Have a wonderful time with your family, your friends. I don't know if we should. Yeah, we'll let you do that. I feel weird. I just feel like
we have to do it cuter like this. Bye.
I don't know what we're
all
doing.
Cheerleaders.
This is gonna be an emoji.
Yeah,
An emoji.
It is the one that's like.
Oh, okay. Well, that's Desiree's emoji right there. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Hello, bye. I was late. That's okay. We will see you soon. We will see you next Friday on the next live show. Thank you so much for joining in. Share the show with your family and friends, and we shall see you guys
See you next time.
next time.